Welcome to the Sidekick Strategy Expert Interviews, where we dive deep into the world of marketing, sales, service, HubSpot, and modern technology. Have you ever felt the frustration of managing a marketing event or webinar? The endless details, the coordination, and the technology. It's like juggling flaming torches while riding a unicycle, or maybe at least close to something like that. But here's the kicker. Often these Herculean efforts are completely disconnected from your CRM, leaving a gap wider than the Grand Canyon between your marketing activities and all the important customer data or prospect data, lead data. You get the point. All the data where we need it. Fear not, because today we're bridging that gap. Welcome to a special episode of Expert Interviews, where we unravel the mysteries of simplifying your events and integrating your event management efforts with your CRM seamlessly. And hopefully, by the way, that CRM is the HubSpot CRM. And who better to guide us through this labyrinth than our guest today? Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the tech wizard, the system integration guru, the man who makes complex tech stacks look like child's play, Justin Givens.
Wow,
Woo,
George.
you like that? I'm
Wow.
not done yet, brother. I'm not done yet. With over 2 decades in the tech industry, Justin has been the mastermind behind the curtain of brands like Simon & Schuster and YMCA. He's not just a director and systems engineer. He's the architect of solutions that transforms chaos into order. So buckle up, ladies and gentlemen, as we dive into the world of seamless event management and CRM integration with insights only a maestro like Justin can provide. Let's get started. Justin, how the heck are you doing today, brother?
Man, you know what? I think you just put me on the moon, and I am static right now. I literally can't talk.
There we
That
go. I
was
hope
an
you can talk,
epic-
because this is
an
your show
epic.
for the rest of the time. All right, in the chat pane, we're going to go ahead and get into this. Let us know where you're tuning in from. But Justin, let's get started with the questions. Let's dive into that brain. Let's talk about events, marketing events, all sorts of stuff. Why do businesses, marketers, sales teams, just businesses in general, why do they want to focus on event-led growth moving forward?
I hear so many businesses go, I don't want to run an event. It's so much to do. It's so complex. It requires so much work ahead of time. But George, I can't emphasize this enough. There's so many reasons to do this. But today, I don't have 5 hours to talk. Maybe you can come to my inbound talk in 2024, okay? Put in the chat pane, yes, George is a boot camper. I'm a boot camper. We're going to use the word, put it in the chat pane if you're going to inbound 2024. We're going to make this interactive. I'm going to be there. I hope George is going to be there. But needless to say, we're going to talk about only 3 reasons why you need to be running events and how it can contribute into growth for your business, for your brand, and hey, you might be a freelancer, how it can grow your freelancer business. Okay, folks, I'm trying to bring the energy here. I didn't hulk up like George did this morning. With that, I've got a couple slides to keep us on path. Let me get those shared for us because it's really going to drive this awesome conversation. So put in the chat pane, love slides, hate slides.
Oh, yeah. You can tell you're like boot camp style there. We're PITP. Put it in the chat pane, ladies and gentlemen. Love slides, hate slides.
All right. Let's make sure. Is that full screen
Yep,
for everybody?
that's
I
full
sure hope
screen.
it is. That's what I love to
Yep.
do. Technology. With that, we are going to simplify. And what we're going to do, we're going to walk through just some very high level points that you need to know why you should be and who the heck am I. Okay. And really, we're just going to skip past the intro and tell you exactly why. As George laid out, I love helping people simplify their HubSpot. That's my CMS of choice. If you don't have CMS, it is my CMS of choice. It's also my CRM of choice, folks. If you're not using HubSpot, you need to get in hold of George. George will help you implement HubSpot into your business today. Please don't just sit in Excel and just sit out there and be like, hey, I can manage everything in my Excel document. Please don't. You're really missing out on a full journey view of your customers, your prospects, and even those who don't follow you. You can learn so much about them. As George says in the chat pane, put in the chat pane, are you using HubSpot? Yes, HubSpot. No, HubSpot. Yes, I'm bringing out that. So let's dive into why do businesses need to do event-led growth. With that first one, which is probably the simplest reason is, wait, I can drive new business? George, this can't be real. You're telling me it drives business leads?
It's real, brother.
And the reason being is you're getting the invite request. This is going to be too easy, but when you run events and you know your personas so well, they're going to eat up your events. They're going to want to come to every single event you are running, and it's going to give your sales team leads. I don't know if I can say it quietly enough. Leads. Lead generation is a big key why you want to run events. They don't have to be inbound level conferences. They don't have to be in person. They can be virtual, in person, live on social media. But the idea is you will be generating leads. I can't emphasize that enough. That's why we're in business, folks. We don't just run a business for the heck of it. Wait, George, did I miss that in Business 101?
I mean, I kind of just have a business for the heck of it. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have a business for the heck of it. But I love what you're throwing down here, Justin, because it is about leads. And when I take it to the side of being human, it's relationships and conversations. That's what these events are going to create. But go ahead, brother. Yes.
So besides leads, it's brand visibility. That's point number 2, folks. Very simple, brand visibility. A lot of people they might get tired of seeing your emails. They might get tired of seeing you here and there. But when you run an event that is speaking to that persona, they're going to be like, wait a minute, I can go to that. I could learn that. You know what? I actually have these questions. They also might be able to answer that. And they're talking about that topic right then, right there. Let me sign up to that. Or, hey, I can't go. Let me send somebody else from my team. That brand visibility is something you can't put a price tag on, but it's like, hey, this business must know what they're doing if they're running events. All right, which then aids in our previous title, lead generation, folks. All right, brand visibility is a huge win when you're running events. It's going to drive that imagery constantly and in people's heads. Now, it doesn't matter if you run them locally, nationwide, worldwide. The idea is that you're getting yourself out there. The third, and this is probably my favorite reason why you need to run events, education. You know, I'm trying to let that one sit.
Yeah.
Education.
Let him marinate for a minute.
What do you mean by customer education? 1, it educates on who you are and what you solve. Yes, you're telling the world what you can do for them. 2, it gives you the ability in a non-sales environment to have question and answer time. This is one of my favorite reasons for doing events. This is also reason, yes, Chris, as you said, conversations that flow in at the time of that event, because your prospect that is at that event is going to be, wait a minute, I have that question. George, how do you do this, this, and this? Oh, that's an awesome question. Now, this is the big win. I want you all get a sheet of paper, get a Post-it note, maybe take a screenshot.
Spray paint?
This.
Spray paint, maybe?
Spray paint.
Yeah.
I don't have
Okay.
spray paint.
All
If
right.
you have silly string from Valentine's Day, you could do this on the wall. Okay. The key here is that question that prospect had. Guess what? That's a blog post. That could be an offer. You can turn all this content back around and reuse it. One of our best performing blog posts that we've ever done was, how can I generate more content? And the number one reason is, look at all your sales decks. There is gold in those sales decks, and people think, oh, well, that was just some webinar we did, or that was just some event we did internally. Turn it into an event. Turn it in and educate people on what you do and how you do it and what makes your processes unique.
I love this. I love this so much because when you're talking about brand visibility and customer education and you're molding those two together, Justin, my brain immediately goes to thought leadership. And whenever you even said, oh, they're doing an event on it, they must know about it. They must do that thing or know that thing. And as soon as you get into the realm of educating that equals to thought leadership, and you're educating with things like events, now you value. And anytime you have thought leadership and value, then all of a sudden you have reciprocity. And when you have reciprocity, you have trust, and trust and reciprocity equals an easier sales process for those leads that you just generated with that educational content that brought visibility to your brand. I'm going to shut up, let you continue going, my man.
It's almost like a flywheel effect.
Oh my
is
gosh.
what you described.
We should tell HubSpot that we should go flywheel instead of funnel. Oh wait, maybe
There
they
we
already
go.
did. Maybe they already did.
Wait a minute. Isn't that what they just had, the flywheel kickoff?
I think maybe just recently, yesterday or something.
I want to also piggyback on what Chris, that conversation is non-pressure driven. Now we can say, hey, what other topics do you want to hear about? And when your audience tells you directly, hey, I want to know more about this feature, I want to know more about X, Y, and Z, you have now just opened up the content funnel. You have now just generated your next 3 webinars or in-person events, however you want to do them, and you've just generated 16 blog posts. Yes, you can do the multiply because every slide in your slide deck should be a blog post that references a call to action which downloads the slides. You can build this flywheel effect to say, hey, I know you came to this event. You should really sign up for this event because we're going to talk about X, Y, and Z. Not that I know you said you wanted this topic, but now we're driving you again because guess what? Now I'm going to have a sales rep at that one that's going to say, hey, you still having issues with that? Cool, let's solve that problem. This customer education is how you can use, it's the same thing we've all done in the SEO world. What are people searching for? What are they asking? And how can I answer that in my blog? When you bring it to an event, you're giving them a live representation and then building your thought leadership. You need to be focusing on customer education, brand visibility, and lead generation with all your events. This is how you can really grow your marketing, your sales, and the whole pipeline together with being repeatable. I talk to a lot of people about events. They're like, yeah, how many should I do? Should I do it every week? Should I do it every month? Never set yourself up to fail. If you're not somebody who does events all the time, do 1 a quarter. Get into a rhythm. Then you can be like George, who does them every week.
Well, I mean, I'd like to do them every week, pretty close to maybe every week. But, you know, here's the thing, Justin, as we're diving into this next section, what I would also call for the people who are watching this live and for the folks who are watching this in the future is rethink in your own mind what an event is. Like an event could be a podcast interview. An event could be a webinar. An event could be where you do like a Friday forum where you have 3 different speakers in a hour and a half period. Rethink what an event actually means for your organization and how you can do the things that we're talking about. Justin, I love that you have the next question on here. So let's go ahead and dive into what are the tools that you should be thinking about or possibly thinking about when you've actually said, yes, for us, it's event-led growth moving forward. Now, how the heck do I pull this off?
Yeah. How? And the first thing you got to think about is what type of event do I want to run? Am I going to run an in-person event where I need physical space? I've got to work with their calendar. I've got to see what time it is and if there's a cost associated. But never let a cost back you out of a venue. If the venue is going to also aid because it's got a great setting, it's got the aura you want to bring to your prospects, ask one of your clients to sponsor the event and pay for the fee. Think creatively and get out there. Now, if it's virtual, you got to think about your audience. How techie are they? Are they non-techie, techie? Can I use Riverside? Can I use Zoom? What should I do? And just think about your prospects when you're setting that up. And then like George just led us into this perfectly. Should I do it live on social media with LinkedIn, with Facebook, with a private community in Facebook, or within a group in Facebook, or a group in LinkedIn, or should I go live on TikTok? I can't give you hey, this is the golden rule. Every audience and every market is different. The people you sell to will tell you where and how you need to run these events. All right. So, and I'll give you just a quick example. If you're in the manufacturing world, I wouldn't necessarily do a live event on LinkedIn. I don't think they're going to join you. In person, in town, write them and invite them all. Virtual, let's do it for all those marketers here. All right. Everybody who's joined today, it's a perfect event. I can jump in on a Friday afternoon and I can learn something real fast. Think about it. And then live on social media? Hey, could I repurpose the video and publish it later? Again, another bit of content there for you. So when you're running these events, you got to think about from the tools along with these, how am I going to take registration? How am I going to make that experience seamless so there's no confusion? What do you have to think about? You got to think about the landing page. Is that event tool going to give me the ability to brand myself? What's the sign up form process? And if you've never used these platforms, play with them. See if you can create test events. See how it functions and what it looks like to the external, so then you can answer the internal questions when support comes in. The other thing that you want to also understand is what happens after the event. So I've got the pre-event registration, I've got all that, I've got the day of event. How does that work? And then what happens afterwards? Well, as we're all here and we know how awesome George's content is, we've got to sell them something. So what is that afterthought? How do we get the attendees out? How do we get them into, please don't say Excel, but how do we get them into HubSpot?
Please don't say Excel. I'm on a mission to get less Excel users on the planet, I think.
I had an internal motto is our goal is to kill the competition and kill Excel.
Yes, I'm down for that, brother.
So with that, if you're using HubSpot, the last thing that you want to deal with is not having that experience outside of HubSpot. Put in the chat pane right now for me what other event tools you've ever used. It doesn't have to be with your current job. It could be other jobs. What tools have you ever used to run an event?
I'd love to see that in the chat pane. And also, this is a great opportunity to let everybody that's watching live. Also, if you have questions about events or anything that Justin is sharing, make sure you ask your questions in there. But have you ever had to use Eventbrite maybe? Or just start listing those out, because some of the tools, I swear, I'd like to think that I'm kind of a smart guy, but some of the event tools that I've tried to use, I start to scratch my head and I'm like, why is it so dang difficult?
Has anybody ever used, George? I know both of us come from a WordPress background ages ago.
Eons.
Ever used the event calendar tool?
Oh, God. Lord, help us right now, please.
I think it was 7 different plugins just to run a ticketed event.
Yeah.
I was death by plugin at that point.
I love they use the word nightmare in the chat pane. Eventbrite Zoom, nightmare. It's that simple, ladies and gentlemen.
But here's what most people don't think. Well, yeah, I know it's a nightmare, but it's almost like a means to end it. I just have to do it because I don't know any other way. And that's what we're here that I really want to highlight to you is you can, as a HubSpot user, own every single bit of it.
I got a little excited to hear you say that. As a HubSpot user, I can own every single portion of the process and not have to have that nightmare of those other tools. So Justin, please continue.
I go to sign up for an event that's hosted on Eventbrite. Eventbrite has built a great platform. I don't want to dog it too much. I just can't stand the branding. It doesn't look like the client that I'm going to sign up for. It doesn't even feel like the client's experience because it's basically forcing that customer into their system. They don't have the creativity that the marketing team's website looked amazing on. And then you have to deal with this whole backend system that, okay, I want to integrate it with HubSpot. Well, now I've got to figure out all the drop downs. I've got to connect the form for each event. Oh no, we didn't connect it. Now I've got to deal with import exports. Now my team has to go download some other app to do check-ins, and it's just fractured from a execution standpoint. And then your mood is shot by the time you even get to run the event and after the event. So you're just like, screw it, we're not doing that again.
I mean, let's be honest. I need a nap just from you listing out the things that you need to do the event. And we're not even doing it. I just listing it out. I'm like, yep, I need a nap right now.
Can we kick somebody out of this? Because George posted Google Forms, and that's not allowed for running an event. I'm sorry.
Jorge.
No.
I love it.
Yes. But
and he's supposed to be on vacation too. What are you doing attending this when you're supposed to be on vacation, brother?
All right, Jorge, I just had to call you out on that. But The goal is if we go back to the first 3 points, and I'm going to use Chris. Chris, I love how you're saying it's not leads, it's conversations. How can we best start that conversation? How can we put our brand visibility at number 1 so people know who's running this event? 3, how can we educate the customer the best possible way? When you owned everything in HubSpot, think about it. It's your landing page. It's your URL. It's your form. It's your thank you page that can then upsell them to do a demo, to download another offer until that event. You have this full creativity to say, hey, this person is interested in events. Let me show them the next event. Let me show them a download that fits my persona. Like all these other platforms, you don't get that experience. And that's why we're going to talk heavily about the one tool you should be using today.
You're talking marketing to me now. It's life-changing.
And the tool I want to introduce to you, I'm a little biased, is Simple Events. You should be able to run your events simply with HubSpot. And this is the one tool that is built for HubSpot and only for HubSpot.
Oh, yeah. So, first of all, you got me real excited now. Like, you're just adding on layers, but I saw the word demo. And Justin, the Sidekick Strategy crew loves a good demo. So I'm just going to quit asking questions and let you take it away. Share a new screen. You might want to buckle up because your mind, if you have not seen Simple Events yet, your mind might be blown to what you can do and how it impacts HubSpot and streamlines your process. Okay, I'll be quiet. It's Justin.
No, I love it. So I'm going to drop this question in. What kind of events do you want to run or you already run now? Okay. Want to run or already run. All right. And we're going to share this screen over here. We've got a awesome, very straightforward, clean slate, Simple Events.
Oh, nice. That is very,
all right.
You haven't started event-led growth yet, it doesn't look like.
I have. I just hit all the events we've been running.
I love it.
Yes. So you can see here, very straightforward. I've got all these awesome events. I can see I'm going to create a new one, and we're going to call it the Sidekick Strategies event. All right. We're going to come here. We're going to say this is a hybrid event because we ran this in person. George is in North Carolina. I've got my audience behind me.
Oh, yeah. Your dog? I've got my audience behind me, too, so we're killing it. It's packed out event.
That's awesome. Yep. So we're going to set this for, let's see here. We'll say the 5th when I'm heading to Hawaii. That was last year. And we're going to say 8 a.m. I love this tool. It automatically advances an hour. What we saw is most events were only an hour, so let's just give them an hour right away.
It's the simple things in life that make it so amazing.
Demo. Now, this is where the beauty comes in. Simple Events, you can see it's just a couple questions. I've got some awesome pro options down here. Create my form. Wait, what? Create a form? Create lists? What is this? Limit registration workflows? Let's watch the magic. Okay. I'm going to leave those 2 other fields blank right now just for the heck of it. I'm going to live on the edge. Don't recommend it. Events for hotels. I love it. So if you're a hotel brand, we'll actually set one of those up for you as well. Now, you're like, of course I don't have any attendees. I just signed up. Let's pull up those event assets. With our pro plan, it will automatically create 3 lists in your HubSpot. Again, this is only for HubSpot because that's all we care about. And it will create 3 different workflows. Let's dive into that form specifically here. Boom. Look at this. The event was created in your portal. You can now customize it, drag it around. And because I love interactive demos, I'm going to update this. And I want y'all to have fun. This is a test demo account. This doesn't go into any sales pipeline. Okay. This is, feel free. We're going to drop this in the chat. Drop that in. Everybody have fun. Go fill it out because as you're filling it out, I'm going to talk about the automation that happens on the back end. As Chris dropped in, auto magical. I love that. That's a great term there. We created, look at this, 3 different lists. George, how much time do you typically spend creating lists?
Longer than that. That's for sure. Way longer than that. Because I got to go find the filters and then HubSpot probably has changed something and where it's actually located to build it. Yeah, that was quick, brother.
Yeah, and that's our goal. Our goal is, so guess what? Now, let's go build that landing page. And I've got a template. Of course I do. We're going to drop it in. we're going to change the form out. We can go to our Sidekick strategies. Boom. Of course, this is a sandbox. I can't publish it. But there, your website's, your event's done. All the branding I get to own. And guess what? It's our favorite tool. Put in the chat pane, is HubSpot your favorite tool? Yes.
Oh.
And if there's any no's.
Yeah, there's no other answer because otherwise you will not be on the event anymore.
Yes. So with that, we got the landing page. Boom. Let's dive into emails. You can now use your own confirmation emails. It can look as your branded company. You can use the QR codes that are now generated for those in-person events. And the beautiful thing is we create the workflows. Wait a minute. The workflows, yeah, the event's on the 5th. You don't have to think about setting up a date time because we set it up for you. Now you can dive in, drop in those emails, send internal notifications saying, hey, 3 days before, make sure we have the right amount of food, and send it to your person who does all the food handling. You can streamline your entire event from this one workflow. And the cool thing is, George, do you like workflows with goals?
I love workflows with goals.
Again, we do this all automatically because you should be running goals for your workflow so people fall out of it automatically.
So good. By the way, hopefully people realize there were 3 workflows. The one was powerful enough, but there was 3 workflows that were created. Now, notice there was registered, attended, not attended. Justin, my mind is exploding. Wait, what? What does that mean? Like, we filled out a form, we got a landing page, we're putting it out to the world. People are showing up. Some do, some don't.
We want to know, just like you want to know in your events. All right. So the workflows are there to help you close business, not just drive success and having people attend. First goal, get people to register for the event. Second goal, get people to attend the event. The most important goal, close business. Okay. That comes out of a successful event, but we got to get those people there. That's what workflow number 1 is, getting them there. They're registered, make sure they show up on time. Now, what do we do to those people after they attend the webinar or the live event or in-person event? Get them to book a sales meeting, get them to do a demo, get them to download X, Y, and Z, put them in your drip. This is how we do event-led growth. But you know what? Sometimes life happens. That's why we have a no-shows list. Hey, it's okay. And if it's an event like this where it's recorded, guess what? Send them the recording once it's available. That's in your process to then close, and then you have the call to action on that page. Hey, book a demo, download this offer, sign up for our newsletter, do X, Y, and Z. George, the list just goes on, and I get so excited, and I just sometimes just talk way too fast. So what I want to do is the same thing in the workflows. You've got your list as well. All right. So let's go back.
We'll
let's see how
pause
many
for 1
people
second.
filled out the
Pause
event.
for 1 second.
Yeah.
Because I wanna throw a mindset out there that I have historically had myself, and I've seen other people have. And that is that the no-shows is like the list of lack, meaning it's the, oh, man. No. The no-shows actually might be the list with the most power, meaning how you message the fact that you love them enough to record the event and deliver it to them so they can watch it in their own time, because we know that we're in a on-demand society. You become the hero when you bring up the empathetic mindset of the actual viewer, and they really wanted it, but their boss was on their butt to get their stuff done, and so they're going to watch it over the weekend. So just be careful of that workflow, those emails. Don't just like polish a turd. Like, make it a great experience for the people who couldn't show up to the live event, just like you make the live event, like we are today, awesome for the people that are there.
And I'm going to take that process one step farther. Who loves seeing a recording in a Zoom window of a past event? It's awful. You don't know who plays it. You could turn on registration required or email required. Why not download it, put it on a replay landing page, use HubSpot videos to get the analytics that, hey, they actually played the video, then you put them in the next drip. So if you think about the no-shows, I'm going to email them until they watch the video, then I'm pulling them out, putting them into the sales drip. Think about the automation And then this is the key: rinse and repeat. Your events should be repeatable, even though your content might be unique. Repeat the process. So let's dive back to simple events. Oh, look at that. We got 5 people. I love it. Now, the event dashboard, you know what? I don't care about check-ins. I don't care about job titles. We can customize this view however we need to. I'm going to run the check-in. Hey, Chris came by. I'm going to check him in. George is supposed to be on vacation. He doesn't get checked in. Rick's there. Awesome. And then Andreas as well. That's who came in. George, I don't know why he didn't show up, but that's okay.
He's a loser, I tell you.
But if we open up, let's open up here, right here. Oh, again, links. Like to open up a new tab. There we go. Diving over into this account. Guess what? Look at this. I'm going to use my little syntax highlighter that I love. If we look down here, registered for the event. Was added to that event. Was added to our all list. That's a default HubSpot list. And then was added to the attendance list. Look at that. Now, think about the growth and think about the amount of data you now have in HubSpot saying, hey, I want to market to all my people who have attended an event, or vice versa, who have never attended an event. You now have all this analytical powerhouse to evenly say, I need to reach these other people who aren't. Maybe it's my messaging. Hey, maybe I could send them a survey in Service Hub and say, what topics would you like to hear about? We notice you haven't attended any of our events. Maybe you should just unsubscribe because we're never going to sell to you. That's okay, folks. We don't want leads that don't do anything for us. Now, she checked in. That's awesome. Let's go back to simple events. And you know what? We're done. Let's mark this bad boy as complete. Yep, we're going to lock it, chisel in stone. No one can be checked in, checked out. And now we're going to get that no-shows list. And after you have turned on all those workflows, the moment you hit complete, outbound notifications go, baby. Now we're really utilizing that HubSpot automation. But George, don't you do multiple events?
Do multiple events, yes. Yes.
Yeah. So what if we could just clone everything we just set up?
Ooh.
Wait, you're saying for March 24? Yeah. Let's just bump, everything cloned, ready to go. Form, all that, boom. Kick it off. Now we have actually just, if you think about from a workflow creation, think how many clicks it takes to create an event-led work or a date-led workflow.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's crazy.
And then setting goals, which most of you all, let's be honest, forget.
Oh, the bane of my existence. But the amount of time that this saves is just craziness. It just is an amazing tool.
Yes. And it's one of those tools that what I like to call in HubSpot, it's the one object that HubSpot doesn't want you to use. And that's going to be my inbound talk. The one object right here, my awesome demo event. You can see here I had 5 registered. There was 3 attendees. So then let's go back real fast and look at our no-shows list. Let's see if Jesus and George both, they will. Oh, that's the 2024 event.
Oh,
yeah.
I went to the March one. It's killing it.
Yeah, right there. No show. Look at that.
Oh,
automatically
man.
Pushed in.
Come on.
We can see that.
Calling us out.
And then, George, look, how many other events has, look at this. He's registered for 5 other events and attended 4. And he's never canceled. Now, we don't have a no-show list here, but that's something we could easily add in. But now we know, hey, how awesome is George? Hey, he actually comes to a lot. We really need to bump that up. Maybe we could send him a promo. Maybe he needs X, Y, and Z because he's attended these events. And if we look at the marketing dashboard, marketing events, you can see all that in one simple view. This is why Simple Events is built only for HubSpot, because the idea is you have to keep it simple, folks.
I love this so much because, one, a couple things you led into how you might use the Service Hub, hashtag no hubs, just one tool. Service, right, for the surveys, and what do you want to actually be educated on? What event should we throw? And then just now you kind of lean into this other direction where I can see the amount of engagement. And so my mind immediately went to, wow, If they attend 5 events, then that's when we send them the swag box using Sendosa or whatever else, because now we know that they're engaged with the brand. We want to turn them into advocates of the brand. And by the way, after 5 events, they may have not even bought anything from us yet, because we don't do event-led growth because we're trying to sell something. Do we eventually end up selling something? Yes, many times. But we're not doing that because is because we want people to realize that they can grow 1% better each and every day. And we can be a part of that journey with them. Okay, so here's one thing. We're going to get to some Q&A. If you want to ask a question, put it in the question pane right now. But I have to ask you, are you ready after this to revolutionize how you manage events? If so, then I'm going to ask you to visit sidekickstrategies.com/simple. That's sidekickstrategies.com/simple. And as a bonus, make sure you use the special Sidekick Strategies promo code HELPFUL. I think it's all capitals. I don't know if it matters if it's lowercase or uppercase, but use the code HELPFUL for an exclusive discount on the Simple Events Pro plan and step into the world of simple events, turning your next event from successful to spectacular. Whoo!
Or automagical, as Chris dropped it.
Automagical. All right, let's see if there's any questions. Code helpful, beautiful. Okay, I don't see any questions. So here's the thing.
I saw one, George,
okay, go ahead.
About running events for a hotel.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
dip back into that.
Yes, Andreas, I'm going to guess those events might be things that I'm going to go back to the days of my honeymoon, okay?
Ooh,
and
how long ago was
all these
that?
events in a single. Okay, that was 14 years ago. Okay, I'm very blessed. Okay, I don't know why she's still with me, but I'm holding on to her. Okay.
Same. I feel you, brother.
So from an event hotel, if you think about it, you might have morning activities, afternoon activities. Or it might just be a one big event, right? When you think about it, break it down into its simplest form. Do I need people to register for this event? Cool. I can drop this in simple events. Simple events doesn't require your events to be this grand, epic. It could just be, hey, they came by X booth and they scanned a QR code. And that QR code is a HubSpot form that then attributes them saying, hey, this is what event they came by. Think about it and I'm going to put this in air quotes, simply. All right. So if you're running any type of event, even if you're going to a conference and you're a vendor, use simple events to build, hey, conference name, we're a vendor. You get a form, customize the form to whatever you want to collect, and use that QR code at the booth to say, hey, tell me you checked in here, which then you could use the automation to then, hey, it was great meeting you. Guess what? We have an after hours party. Do you want to come join that with us? And again, you're creating the area to have conversations with those prospects. So if you're doing repeating events for hotels, that is right now, Simple Events is not going to handle that because of the name Simple Events. But that can change in the future. But you want to think about, can I break my event down? Hey, I want to see an entire month who joined the dancing lessons at the hotel. You could have it as an ongoing event. It never ends until the end of the month, and you just have that same QR code saying you checked in. On the back end in HubSpot, it's just going to say, hey, Justin registered on March 4th. George checked in on March 30th. You could have that full range and see everybody who came to the session. Then you could start using HubSpot and Simple Events to say, hey, maybe we shouldn't be running these events anymore. Okay.
Strategy.
Yes.
I love strategy. And it's funny, Justin, not to derail us, but when you were talking about that, I was like, well, shoot, should I actually use Simple Events as a speaker and actually have a QR code that could be used for my presentation deck that people could be taking a picture of and just using the form and all the automation magic that could happen off of that? I'm like, oh, the possibilities are endless here. And this has been very eye-opening. I'm sure there are going to be a ton of people who are going to want to go to sidekickstrategies.com/simple. They're going to want to get this tool, and they're going to want to leverage it with their HubSpot CRM to do things absolutely amazing. But as we start to wind down here, Justin, what is one thing that you hope you didn't know this one was coming, by the way. This is like the hidden gem that I always leave in there. What is the one thing you hope the audience takes away from today's session? Like, if you had to boil it down to one piece of wisdom or nugget, what do you hope they take away today?
Thanks for putting me on the spot.
You're welcome.
I love
You're
this. What I would say is it's not necessarily is simple events the right platform. The idea that you should be taking away is I need to look at events differently for my business. And I need to be doing more events to drive that authority, to drive the conversation, and to keep my brand top of mind.
So good. So good. Justin, thanks for being here today. If people want to reach out, where's the best location to strike up a conversation?
The best location is going to be on LinkedIn. All right. And I'll drop my LinkedIn URL in there. Please connect with me. I'm in a race to 5,000 connections by inbound. If not, I owe somebody a beer. Okay.
Nice. And it's not me, so that's cool.
All right. So I think Andreas did drop in. Let me please reread. So we want to show things they can do at the hotel in the areas around the community. So that's where what I would say in that is you have a landing page that talks about everything they can do. Then you use HubSpot's automation of saying, text this phone number around the hotel or scan this QR code that then shows that landing page of, hey, here's the on-site activities that you can do this month, this week, whatever the timeline is for all those events. Then if you need registration for those events, so let's say it's a boating trip or it's a dancing in your limited space, you could use Simple Events to have all that information within HubSpot.
So good. So good. Ladies and gentlemen, focus on event-led growth, focus on the ability to do lead generation, brand visibility, educate those customers, and of course, get Simple Events along the way. And as you do, remember to be a happy, helpful, humble human, of course, all the time, all the way through. And we'll see you on the next Sidekick Strategy Show.